Most Range Rover owners never push their vehicles to their true limits, and that, my friends, is a damn shame because these guys are very, very capable off-road. And today we've got the 2016 Range Rover Sport HSE out here in the wild, and we're going to see what she can do with the new 3-liter V6 turbo diesel engine and a whole myriad of off-road goodies that can turn any newbie into a seasoned wheeler. Land Rover has been a pioneer in bringing off-road tech to the masses, and the Sport HSE is no different. Sure, a terrain response management system and crawl control and hill descent control, those things are not going to turn you into a Baja 1000 race star, but they are going to give you more options to wheel safely and comfortably. And speaking of safety, please don't go out on your own. Make sure you bring plenty of water and always bring a tow strap. Now, in my terrain management system, I've got general for on-road use, snow, gravel, and grass, mud and ruts, which is kind of my favorite, sand, and rock crawling. Now, each of those is going to map the transmission and the throttle in different ways in order to give you the best performance possible. Now, I've got a lot of different terrain here in this off-road park, so I'm just going to put it in auto, which is going to choose moment by moment the best place for this truck to be at any given time. But what if you're a bit of an off-road rock star? I mean, I'm not bad driving in the dirt. Can I do all of these things independent of the electronics? Well, yes and no. So I have a 2-speed transfer case as part of the extra duty package. So I've got low gearing. So I can go up and down any kind of steep slope in low and use my own throttle, brake, and steering inputs to get me up and over those hills. Now, what about the terrain management system? Well, that gets a little bit dicey, right? Because this is a 4-wheel independent suspension setup. Now, I'm much more of a solid rear axle kind of gal, right? They're more durable, you get more articulation, but Land Rover knows most people are not going to do this in their Land Rovers, right? They're going to be on the pavement. 4-wheel independent suspension is much more comfortable on the pavement, so I don't blame them for playing to their base. So you really do need this terrain management system in absence of a locker, in absence of a solid rear axle, in order to get you through whatever terrain you're going through. You can get the Range Rover Sport HSE in 4 different engine types, including a supercharged V8, which is good for 550 horsepower and 502 pound-feet of torque. But if you really want to get into some off-roading, the diesel is your jam. I am telling you, 254 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque. Now, those numbers are smaller than the supercharged, of course, but it makes up for it in gas mileage. This will get 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 out on the highway, and 25 combined. So, there's no gas stations out here on the trail. You need enough fuel to get out there, have your fun, and then get back to civilization. Now, some of the best advice I ever got about off-roading is as slow as possible, as fast as necessary. We're gonna go down what looks like a fairly steep hill, and I definitely wanna go as slow as possible. So, hill descent control on. I'm gonna take my foot off the brake, work. All right, there she goes. And I'm gonna let the car do its own thing. I'm only inputting with the steering. Now, this section of the hill isn't too steep, so I'm feeling okay. But I have to tell you, I don't like not being in control. Oh my God, okay. All right. So this is using the brakes more than the engine to slow itself down. If it were me, I'd just throw it in low and let it do its own thing. One of the nifty things on the Range Rover is the all-terrain progress control. This is essentially a crawl control, and it's been popping up on a lot of vehicles from the Jeep Renegade to the Toyota Tacoma. Essentially, think of it as cruise control for off-road, okay? So I'm gonna press this little button right here. I'm gonna set my max speed, and now it's gonna go up this hill all by itself with just steering inputs from me. So let's see, we've got a couple of steep spots here. So this is really taking as slow as necessary, very, very seriously, but it's doing a great job. It's getting me up the hill as safely as possible. Now, could this car take this hill faster? Yes, of course it could, but why? So I can use this cruise control to just kind of let the car do the work for me. I'll just sit back here, steer a little bit, and enjoy the ride. So if you've ever wanted to try your hand at off-roading but maybe weren't so confident in your abilities, the 2016 Range Rover HSC Sport may just be for you, but you're going to have a lot of money. Our test model here starts at $71,450, but if you want all the goodies like a driver assistance package, comfort and convenience, and the totally worth it extra duty package, expect to pay about $84,260. Or you could just buy yourself a Jeep Grand Cherokee diesel and save yourself $30K, but hey, you be the judge.